Hello all, welcome back to another video and welcome to Sammy G's World of Cinema. Today on the channel, guys, it is a bit of a special video as it is my dad's birthday today. And if you're watching this, Dad, many happy birthday. I hope you have the most wonderful day today as well. And yeah, just have some amazing time and that. I hope today goes absolutely wonderfully well for you today, Dad, and I can't wait for us to meet up again in a couple of weeks. So yeah, in honour of that, guys, I wanted to do this video for my dad's birthday, and it's a thread that I think has been making the rounds and stuff of a top 10 favourite films of a relative or friend. So I know Roy did his top 10 films list of his wife from his wife. There was also Jodie, I think, did her top 10 favourite films from her husband's list. So there's been this has been a thread that's been making the rounds. I know Stuart did his friend Lee's top 10 favourite films list as well. So it's been quite a bit of a fun thread this has, and I thought this is the perfect time to do so. Now, this isn't an actual top 10 list, top 10 favourite films list, from as in kind of in a ranking order, from my dad here. This is just 10 of his favourite ever films, and wow, he's got a quality list here, guys. So yeah, really looking forward to going through 10 of my dad's favourite ever films. And there's actually some of these films I have not actually seen, so yeah, it's kind of got me the urge now to check out those films I haven't seen, and the ones I have seen I think are absolutely brilliant. So grab yourself a cuppa, guys, and yep, the weekend is still here, and it is alive and kicking indeed. So come on, bring on the show, and let's get on with this here and talk some movies. Let's go. So in no particular order, and yeah, again, this is 10 of my favourite dad's favourite ever films, and the first one he's picked is a film, to my absolute shame, I have never ever seen, but I know it's meant to be one of the most acclaimed musicals out there. I think it swept at the Oscars, and there's been Broadway shows of this. It got remade again in 2021 from Steven Spielberg, and that is West Side Story. So I haven't seen this film in its entirety. I do remember that there was a snippet of this. It might have been the opening scene that was on the TV, and there was da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And I think that is the only scene I've seen from the film. But this is a film though, musicals is not my go-to genre, guys, but however, I know this is just a really well-beloved musical, and the whole rivalry between the Jets and the Sharks and this, and then there's this relationship that's played throughout here, and also it's got the New York setting as well, and it's kind of a bit of a, it's sort of kind of inspired by Romeo and Juliet. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting onto this one, guys, and I think you can get this one for cheap as chips on Blu-ray. So that is West Side Story there. Then, guys, now I have seen this film, and this is an absolutely fantastic pick here. And yeah, I think I actually came across this film through my dad as well. I remembered it was, I think, one half term. It was February about 14 years ago, something like that. And I came back home and I saw my dad was actually watching this film, and I was like, wow, yeah, this looks so interesting. This looks absolutely fantastic. I think it was actually, I think, probably about 3-4 years later when I watched it for the first time as well. And I have spoken about this film on the channel before, and that is Into the Wild. Yeah, this is just an absolutely fantastic film, guys. One of my favourite films of all time as well, and just an incredible story based off a true story as well about a guy who was just like graduated from university, and he decides to donate all like his savings to charity to Oxfam, and then he goes on like this sort of bewildering journey to Georgia, Alaska, and you know, and then yeah, and he just it's this film just takes you on a journey, you know, in the eyes of this one character played by Emily Hurst. I think his name is Christopher McCandless, I think it is, and he just meets so many like interesting people along the way, like whether that was Vince Vaughn's character, the elder guy, and there was Hal Holbrook as well, and Kirsten Stewart. Yeah, it is just an absolutely fascinating film, guys, and the way this film is shot, it's shot beautifully and just directed really well from Sean Penn there. So yeah, I definitely need to get this one in my Blu-ray collection, and just a fantastic film, guys. You know, like a really great like biopic, this one. So that's Into the Wild. I do remember this film being really good, actually. It's quite a real sort of to the knuckles sort of film. It's quite immense, and yeah, wow, you know, that last half an hour, it is quite a tough watch, but it is a really good film on the whole, all the same. And that is The Mission with Robert De Niro and Jeremy Irons. Yeah, I remember this one being great. I do need to get this one in my collection as well, but I think the music from Ennio Morricone just really elevates of what's happening in this film. It's just, again, I actually love the beautiful music like centered in this film from Ennio Morricone, but the film itself is just really interesting. You know, focusing on this community in like South America in like the 1750s. Jeremy Irons basically he's got like this like this community, and in like this forest colony to like Portugal, and they basically got to like defend like everything like that they've built and that. And Robert De Niro's character is on a mission to kind of like, well, he's experienced that his wife is like cheated on him, and then he basically flips out, and then basically then whilst he's like kind of on this mission, he then he's kind of just, you know, like following like under this guidance, under the guard of this colony, this community, and then in the end he kind of decides to stick with like this community, and then just to basically defend it, and also whilst they're on like on this mission, but like yeah, this colony is like really under like great pressure as well as that. And yeah, it is an absolutely interesting film. It has been a long time since I've last seen this film as well, guys. It's probably been about 15 or something years since I've last seen it, so I am overdue rewatching this one. But yeah, I do know this is a big favourite film for both my like mum and dad as well. And yeah, one quite intense scene. I remember where Robert De Niro's just carrying something on his back along the rocks, and then he breaks down and that. And yeah, it's a really like good film, and yeah, just been some great performances. I think it went up for a couple of Oscars as well, I believe. So that is The Mission. And then, yeah, we've got an absolutely fantastic film here, guys, that I have seen and seen a few times as well. And that's It's a Wonderful Life. Yeah, this is one of the best films ever put to screen. I think I want to say, and it's just absolutely magical. I mean, majority of the film, it doesn't take place at Christmas, but the Christmas feel is very much still there, you know, in that kind of the last hour of the movie, I want to say. And yeah, it's just got, again, everything in that latter part of what a Christmas film excels at. And just, you know, like, we follow kind of how like Jimmy Stewart and Donna Reed's like meet in this film as like a young like couple, and you follow over time that they get married and they have a family, and then there's this real sort of like financial crisis that like happens like during the film for like Jimmy Stewart's character. And yeah, like, he's up against like this mean-spirited, cold-hearted like you know, like this banker, and it's just a really great film. There's some really important messages in there as well. And yeah, I just think, again, Jimmy Stewart just absolutely delivers in every scene he's in. Again, I love the whole like sort of kind of the latter part where you see Clarence, and it's kind of like a retelling of A Christmas Carol as well. I just think it's absolutely beautiful movie, this one, guys. And yeah, just one of my favourite ever films, and just one that still stands the test of time still to this day. And a film that me, my mum and dad watch every December as well, without fail there. So that's It's a Wonderful Life. And again, guys, another film that is one of my favourite films of all time, and it is for my dad as well. Again, just remember about 16 years ago, I watched this for the first time, and it was the same year when I was really getting into film. And this is a film that me and my dad have sat down and we've watched like a few times. We watched this one at Tyneside Cinema last year as well for the film's 30th anniversary there, and that is Forrest Gump. Yeah, one of the first few films I think that really made me fall in love with film, and going into like, you know, other kind of movies out there that would kind of segue that, and to checking out more like directors and Tom Hanks's filmography. But it is just an absolutely amazing movie, in my opinion. Yeah, I just, again, like how we just follow the life of just Forrest, and he sat on the bench one day waiting for a bus, and there's like passengers, visitors that come by whilst they're waiting for the next bus, and he basically tells his life story, and and how it brings him to present day. And it's just an absolutely incredible film, guys. Like, the just so much packed into this runtime, and just, you know, like, so many different like layers to it. You know, I kind of just like how we see this character evolve. We see this character meet people, go to different places and travel, meet the love of his life as well. And we see characters come and go and make a departure. And there's a lot of heartfelt, like emotional beats to this film as well, and it's just absolutely beautiful, this film, guys. Like, again, a film that just takes my breath away every time I watch it, and yeah, in my top 5 films of all time. I know this is a big favourite of my mum's as well. My mum absolutely loves this film as well, and my dad does. I think for each of us, this is a film that's in like each of our top 5 favourite film lists there. So yeah, that is Forrest Gump, and it's got a lot of heart and soul to it, and some of the character work is some of the finest character work put to screen there. Then I've gone for my dad's favourite ever comedy film, and my favourite comedy film of all time as well. And again, guys, it was at that similar time when I was just really getting into all kinds of film, like in the year 2009. And this is just like nothing else I've ever seen before it. And just again, I think this has been my favourite comedy film for absolute years now, and I can't see that changing anytime soon. And yeah, I think it was my dad who introduced me to Monty Python. No, he did introduce me to Monty Python there, and that is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Just an absolutely spectacular, daft, bewildering, batshit insane, and also crazy, bewildering, nonsensical, and yet endearing piece of cinema out there. I absolutely just love every single second of this film for all of those reasons. The cast and the crew, the amount of craftsmanship they put into this is just absolutely spellbinding. But just the whole Camelot sort of tale in this film, and this is, I think, one of those films that does like kind of going on a journey the best, in my opinion, like especially when you've got that blend between that really witty, daft humour. You've got a real bundle of just fun-loving characters in there, but the choreography is just absolutely off the charts as well. Like we meet like the Knights of the Round Table, then we will meet obviously like this like kind of this cardboard bunny and this cowl that just comes out of nowhere. We do meet that like this killer rabbit, and like this kind of this guy who is this bridge guard. It is all the ingredients of like a Camelot spoof sort of movie. It's all in here, and it gives us an absolute masterpiece of a comedy film. And there's not many comedy films out there that I give the full 10 out of 10 to. There's a lot of comedy films out there I do absolutely love though, guys, don't get me wrong, but this is kind of one of the very few comedy films I've given a full 10 out of 10 to. And yeah, Monty Python's opus, their masterpiece in my opinion there. So yeah, and what another absolute belter of a pick from my dad here for like this list. And yeah, this would just lead me on to watching the likes of Life of Brian and The Meaning of Life and Flying Circus as well. So that's Monty Python, the Holy Grail there. An absolutely fantastic film. This was definitely one of my favourite films of 2022. I watched it on Netflix, and then I did actually go to Tyneside Cinema to go and see this one actually with my dad as well. And this was, I think, in the lead up to the Oscars. And I think it swept at the Oscars. I think it won about 4 Oscars, and rightly so. And that is the incredible remake of All Quiet on the Western Front. Yeah. Now, this is actually a film where I haven't seen its original version, but as fantastic as the original might be, guys, I honestly think this remake is gonna probably take some doing, in my opinion, because this is just an absolutely fantastic like war film set in the First World War. This film is this group of soldiers in the First World War, and a couple of like really good friends as well, and they go to France, and they kind of really just learn about the real harsh realities of like this battlefront and the war, and it's just all happening around then, and they see like a couple of people they associated with, they do come and go in this, and it's really just it's quite upsetting at times. This film, it's really just brutal and to the knuckle, and it just really just showcases the the harsh, like the harsh sort of like brutality, and like the harsh outcomes of what happens in the First World War. But yeah, like it's it's a really good film, but it's kind of like a lot of war films where I've got to be in the right mood to watch this, because but a really interesting, fascinating film, and it told from like the German perspective as well, and you find as well this group of soldiers who are fellow classmates as well, like they have got all these ambitions, and obviously they've got like things they kind of like anticipate as well, and like each of them have like formed a relationship with like a loved one, and then this all just comes to a grinding halt one day when they are going into like war there, and it's yeah, it is an absolutely fantastic film, guys. The cinematography is, it is amazing cinematography. Like the acting is brilliant here. Like I think the modern sort of amplified music really enhances with what you're seeing on screen as well. To really kind of, like it kind of showcases how harsh this is, and it's a brilliant movie, guys. But like a meeting on this train as well, there's kind of, I remember there was this really sort of, there was this kind of this immense scene where this general makes a real sort of distinctive speech as well, and also like one scene where a couple of the main leading characters would go to this farm and try and steal this goose as well, and they find there might be something might have a bit of a reoccur. This is something that does come back later into the movie as well, and yeah, but they like some of the fighting scenes and some of the it's really like immense, and it's intense, but all overall it is a really, really good film from the same director of Conclave, which I've heard great things about there. So that is All Quiet on the Western Front, and another amazing pick from my dad's there, like in terms of like 10 of his favorite ever films there. Then, guys, a couple of movies that I can't comment on too much just because I haven't seen them, but because they are favourite films of my dad's, I would love to check these out at some point for sure. And my dad is a trusted judge when it comes to film as well. And that is Remains of the Day. Now, my dad absolutely loves the book as well, from, I believe it's the same author of Never Let Me Go, Kazuro. I'll put the name on the screen, but yeah, like this is, I think, based off, I think it's like a 1920s book of the same name, and this stars Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson. Like I say, guys, I have never seen this film, but I can imagine it being fantastic, and this is a big favourite of my mum and dad's as well. In fact, this is actually a film that me, my mum and dad probably should watch all together as a family one day. That could be a good idea when I next go back to my parents and that. But yeah, Remains of the Day, I have read a bit about it, and it does sound like an interesting film. Anthony Hopkins, I believe plays this butler, and he finds out that his employer was associated with like Nazi Germany, and he learns about like kind of his own like wrongdoings, and learning about his sort of controversy as well, and he has to make like the decision that he might have to step down from his position as this butler, and this house might potentially get sold on the market at the same time of that. From what I read from the premise, guys, but I've never seen this film, but just when I did a bit of research as well, he gets back in touch with his former like housekeeper, and she's played by like Emma Thompson, and they start to have like their own like relationship, and then he kind of wants to sort of like, like still have this sort of steady going relationship, and to still, like, even though he's under a great deal of pressure of what he's learned and about his employer, and like the drastic sort of, like outcomes that has happened there. But yeah, Anthony Hopkins and Emma Thompson, I don't know why I haven't checked this film out yet. Two absolutely fantastic actors, and I've heard this is like one of the best periods dramas out there as well. But it just sounds so interesting. I think the director, I believe, is James Ivory as well. So, but yeah, I did read up a bit about this one, and it was like nominated for eight Academy Awards as well. So it was definitely getting a lot of buzz at the time at the Oscars. And I know this has been a big favourite for both my parents for like many years now, and a film I probably should get onto at some point. I think Stuart really, really likes this film as well. So yeah, that's Remains of the Day. And the other film, again, guys, apologies, I can't comment on too much because I haven't seen this film. But I've heard, again, great things. I remember when this film came out in a brilliant year, 2019 for film. And I think my dad has read the book as well. And my dad's seen this one a few times and he absolutely loves it. And again, guys, Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx, how I've not got onto this film sooner, I really didn't know. But maybe it's one that I should add to my Blu-ray collection at some point and give it a watch. And that is the film Just Mercy. So, yeah, I've heard this is a really deeply impactful film, and based off true events as well. About this guy who's on trial for he has been put at fault for, he is basically been accused of this like murder, and then he's but he wrongfully accused of this murder that he didn't have, he never had any involvement with. And it's a film that kind of really showcases sort of like he's sort of standing for justice in what he believes in, at the same time, and he's kind of this attorney that's kind of he's like standing for justice. But yeah, I've heard it's a really good courtroom sort of drama, and it kind of showcases sort of like about injustice and someone that's been wrongfully mistreated as well. I've heard, and Michael B. Jordan is just a fantastic actor as well, and obviously he has directed a couple of films now as well. So yeah, I definitely would love to get onto this one. Again, guys, so sorry I haven't spoken much about this film. I haven't seen it, but I know my dad has recommended this one a couple times. And again, possibly when I go back to my parents, visiting my parents, this is probably one me and my dad probably should watch at some point, but it's one I know I'm gonna love as well. Yeah, again, I think my dad, like with Remains of the Day, my dad said it's a fantastic book to read as well. So that is the film Just Mercy. And the last one for like my dad's 10 favourite films list, and yeah, I have to go with this one as well as my favourite instalment in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This, I believe my dad went to go and see this at the cinema, like upon its release, and again, like Fellowship and like Return of the King just got a lot of buzz at the time, and it was just, getting a lot of word of mouth, kind of like, again, just the first sort of like Hollywood experience of like, in terms of like adaptation of this beloved trilogy of books. Now, I have read the books from J.R.R. Tolkien 3 times, and they're probably my favourite books ever, guys. I think the books are absolutely wonderful. And whilst the films don't follow everything from what the books have to offer, and don't take every ingredient or in source rendered onto from book to screen adaptation, from what Peter Jackson did though, guys, with like his own vision, and the amount of craftsmanship and the filmmaking scale he did it to absolute accomplishment. Yeah, so my dad and my favourite instalment into the Lord of the Rings trilogy from Peter Jackson, and that is The Two Towers. Yeah, this is my favourite book as well. I absolutely love this. I think everything fantastic about Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, elevates that by a smudge. It really does. And I love the whole journey between like Sam and Frodo. They go to Mount Doom, and I know that happens kind of at the start of the film, opposed to when you read the book, it's the latter part of the book, and when you follow Gollum and Selob's lair as well, which in fairness that happens later on as well, but it is just an absolutely great second installment. Again, one of the greatest sequels ever as well. And, you've got that epic scene with Helm's Deep as well. And obviously, Strider, Legolas and Gimli on their way to Rohan to meet Theron. And Grima Wormtongue, Edoras, yeah, it is just, and Treebeard, the whole side story with Merry and Pippin, with Treebeard and Fangorn Forest, yeah, it is just an absolutely great film, guys. And, also, you get to see a bit more of, Arwen in this movie as well, and it's great. It's absolutely brilliant on every scale, and one of the most beloved film trilogies, if not this and Star Wars, the original Star Wars trilogy, the two most beloved film trilogies ever. It's and I can absolutely get that, and yeah, just again, it's stunning to look at. The music from Howard Shore is just, sure enough, it is just a feast for the eyes. So yeah, that is Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers there. So there you go, guys. And again, want to say again, a massive happy birthday to my dad. And this has been a bit of an additional birthday present for my dad, listing 10 of his favourite films and talking about each one. Again, guys, I do apologise though, there's been a couple of films here I haven't spoken a great deal about, and actually, whilst I have seen the film The Mission. I just haven't seen it for absolute years, so I would love to go back and revisit that after doing this video. Not right away after doing this video, but definitely at some point. But yeah, guys, hope my dad is having a wonderful birthday, and I can't wait to meet up with him again. You know, like my hero, and just you know, and he's just one of the most kind and wonderful, gentle people out there. Getting a bit emotional there, guys, but yeah, I absolutely love my dad and my family, and yeah, it was great to do this video in my in honor of my dad's birthday today. So yeah, guys, do let me know in the comments, have you seen any of these movies and what's your thoughts on them, and do you have any of these films in your collection? I would love to know all of that good stuff in the comments down below. And I want to say again, guys, thanks ever so much for all of your continuous support on the channel. I really, really do appreciate it, guys. It means the absolute world to me. And yeah, it's absolutely brilliant to still continue on with this journey, and long may it continue. And I hope everyone is having a fantastic September so far as well. So thanks for watching, cheers for stopping by, and until next time, I'll see you for the next video. Bye bye.